Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new series that I am doing this whole year with Nicole from Coley Bing, Grace Tolman, who I'm a huge fan of, and lots of other YouTubers. This hop uses one sketch per month from the Creating with Sketches, a guide to adapting and customizing sketches, which is a class and ebook designed by Allison Davis for Scrapbook Generation. So these are paid sketches, and so we are not going to be displaying the sketches in our videos, but I will go ahead and link up that ebook, that class in the description box for you. So if you want to grab it and add it and play along, you can. The sketch that I am using this month is option number 24 from the first 2-page sketch. So this class basically starts by giving you a sketch. Some of the sketches are 2-page sketches. Some of the sketches are 1-page sketches. And then from that initial sketch, it then gives you, I think, it has to be 24 or more different options of how you can adapt that sketch. So the sketch is, or the class is jam-packed full of sketches. I am going to be working with a Kiwi Lane kit. I have chosen this one called Secret Ingredient. I believe it is the November's kit. And I have 7 photos. Yeah, 7 photos on this page, which is a lot of pictures. But that's okay. I'm going to be following the sketch pretty closely. Like I said, when you have one sketch and then 24 options, one of them is going to catch your eye that you can use for your layout. I chose one of the papers from the kit as my background, and then I have 4 different pattern papers here. Each of these pattern paper strips are cut at 2 inches by 12 inches. And I'm inking up the edges of all of these strips with my Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink. I am going to stamp some stitches across all 4 of these strips of paper. So I'm going to use my Misty. This gives me a really nice, flat, consistent surface that I can stamp on. I am going to use an acrylic block instead of using the door. The ink I'm using today is Icing on the Cake by Catherine Pooler, and my stamp set is from Ellie's Studio. This is an older stamp set. It's a stitching stamp set, but if it is still available in the Ellie's Studio shop, I will link it up in the description box for you. So the nice thing about this stamp is that while it is not 12 inches long, it is a continuous pattern, so I can use it and stamp these really fun stitching marks down both sides of all 4 of the 2x12 strips of paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get my strips onto my background pattern paper. And I'm using the grid on my glass board to go ahead and get everything nice and straight and even. I'm going to use this already cut and ready to go 4x6 card for my photos. I didn't think I would use what was on the back of them. In fact, most of this kit, I love the pattern papers, and the templates are always really nice, but the cut apart pieces, I don't think that I'll really be using them, so I'm probably going to use all of them as photo mats or as, like die cutting pieces or something, maybe card fronts for projects. So my 4 photos, I'm going to put them right there. These are vacation photos. So this is all the food we ate while we were at Mickey's Tavern. I've done a couple layouts now with all of my photos from that from Mickey's Tavern. We were there for 2 days. So I have quite a few photos from that trip. And this is all the food we ate. And the menu from the restaurant. So it is such a unique experience to eat there. There are 2 different areas that have food. One is like a buffet, and it's only open until like 3 in the afternoon. And then there's like a pub that's open in the evenings. And so this is all the food. We had country ham and biscuits. We had the best mac and cheese I have ever put in my mouth, ever. It was so good. They are known for their fried chicken. So we had some fried chicken, and that was delicious. The food there was so good. And this sketch allowed me to take all of those food photos and get them onto one page, which is perfect for my travel album because we were gone for 10 days, I think, and we did so many things. And I'm really trying hard to get all these photos into like one scrapbook album. So hopefully using sketches like this, I'll be able to do that. These are 2 of the Kiwi Lane templates that were part of the secret ingredient kit. I absolutely love that large one that looks like a charcuterie board or a big cutting board. It is so cool. I can see myself using it loads and loads. And then I really like this banner and how it turned out too. So when I do my templates, I turn my templates upside down. I turn my paper upside down, and then I trace and cut from the back. And that is the best way that I find to use my templates so that we don't have any kind of like pencil mark or anything. And then I can really trace with like a nice dark line and can really see what I'm cutting. I had someone comment and ask me to show them all of the pen work and what I do to my templates after I'm done cutting them out. So I left the cutting board in, and I also left the mixing bowls that I'm going to use in a little bit in. So for the cutting board, I am inking up the edges using white pigment ink. My favorite white pigment ink is Hero Arts Unicorn ink. It is the best white ink. And I am choosing white because there are a lot of white in this collection. This collection is nice and bright and light colored, and my photos are rather dark from being in that kind of pub or like that tavern. So I really like how they kind of set how the white pen and white ink is going to set off both my photos and this cutting board. So the white pen that I use is a Uniball Jelly Roll pen, and I use the thick one. So I use the one that is maybe 8 or 10 might be the width. They come in a pack of 3, and when you get it, it's the pack of 3 that I bought has 3 different pen tips, and I use the biggest one. And I always keep a piece of black cardstock on my desk because the pen, the roller ball tends to get stuck sometimes. And by having a black piece of scratch cardstock off to the side, every so often if it feels like your pen is not running smoothly, I just take the pen, put it over on the black cardstock, do a little zhuzhing, get the ink flowing, and then I can go back to doing the doodles perfectly. I make pretty thick lines, and I do add like little dots or accent marks along my doodles. And sometimes I do it just one. Sometimes I make the line and it's just one line. Sometimes I go over it and kind of make it look like a hand-drawn kind of doodly line. So there is that cutting board. And my small photos are gonna sit on the cutting board there. And then I have this little banner piece, and I'm just cutting it out and inking it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to snip the one end of the banner piece off. And that way it can look as though it is spanning the entire 12 inches across my page. And I like how that looks a lot. Once I had all those pieces in place, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and make those mixing bowls that were also part of the secret ingredient kit. But first I'm going to go ahead and add my title. So my title, I'm keeping it super simple. It's just going to be on the menu. I'm going to use some stickers from Bella Boulevard. These are the pony color, and I have my little cut-a-line guide there to give me a nice straight edge for my title, and I have to glue all of these letter stickers down one by one because they're not sticky. On camera, this looks like the title kind of blends in really almost too much. It doesn't. In real life, you can read it. It's very visible and completely fine. It looks really nice, actually, but for some reason on my cameras, it looks like it just disappears. I am going to treat this mixing bowl template like a paper piecing. So I'm going to start by tracing and cutting out the white bowl, and then I used all the pattern paper and I traced and cut out all of the different elements of the bowl. So each of the bowls and then their rims and then their bottoms I cut out of different pattern papers from the collection. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put all of the bowls together and paper piece them onto that white cardstock. You won't see any of the white cardstock. In fact, if at any point while I was putting the colored bowls on top of the white cardstock, if at any point it seemed like I had cut, because remember, this is all hand cut, so sometimes there would be areas that weren't quite lining up perfectly, and when I encountered those areas, I just snipped off the white cardstock because, like I said, this is all fussy cut and hand cut, all the bowls, all the rims, those types of things. But I am really, really glad that I took the time to do that because look how awesome they turned out. Now I'm just taking that same white pen and I'm adding some accents, little highlights to the bowl. If you've ever stamped an image and highlighted certain images of your stamped or colored image, the same thing, just picking different areas and adding just a little white border or a couple of dots to create some highlights. And you can see here how I'm using that little black piece of cardstock to get the ink flowing again. Then I went ahead into my Spiegelmom Scraps sequin stash and I found a mix. This was just the first mix I found that I thought that the colors would coordinate with my with the collection and with my layout. I am going to add little sequin accents to all three of the mixing bowls, and then I'm going to scatter a couple along the either ends of those little banners just for a little finishing touch. And then our layout is done. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Be sure to head down in the description box, check out all of the videos in this fun hop. This will be a year-long hop. And these videos will come up onto my channel and everybody else's channel on the 1st of the month at noon Eastern. Talk to you again soon. Bye.